In this video I'm going to show you how to make bushes using horsehair. Up until now I've used Woodland Scenics fine leaf foliage for my main bushes on the embankments and areas around the layout. However, this isn't very cost effective if you're doing a large area. So I've turned to a well-known and well-used substance in rubberised horsehair. Rubberised horsehair is often used by upholsterers for cushioning in chairs, and it's a kind of wiry, rubbery texture and very spongy, and it usually comes in blocks or sheets. And I've got this particular stuff from Green Scene, and for I'd say an A5 sized piece it cost me £1.75. So it is cost effective in that sense, because you can get dozens of bushes from that particular size of horsehair. Now it comes, as I said, in rectangular blocks, and obviously you're going to have to manipulate it to make it look like a real bush. So what you do is you would just take a pair of scissors. There's different ways to do it. One way to get a random shape is just to kind of cut yourself it is quite coarse to cut through. Okay, and just try and take any straight edges off. There we go. Right, again, it still looks quite square and unbush-like, and it's quite tall as well. You could use this for hedges as well, but I'll come to that at another point. So I'm going to take the actual depth of it, if you like, and I'm just going to tear it apart. Avoid using scissors for this because you'll get to a cleaning edge. So I'm just going to force it apart. Okay, so that's two parts I've now got. And then I'm going to try and tease it out and manipulate it. Now if I want to, for example, make a long bush, I'd keep it all as one, but I might take that bit off and use that bit later. So I've got, don't know about the big strands just now, they'll be sorted shortly. So I'm going to try and manipulate it so I'm happy with a kind of oblong bush. Not too deep. If you want it deeper, you can always prise it further apart there. Now you'll see that it's got all these kind of rogue parts to it. Just take your scissors and do a bit of gardening. Okay, any bits you think, no want that, just take it off. Okay, so there you have a kind of bush shape that you'd use on an embankment or along a fence or something bordering the railway line. Okay, if you just see any more of it, just pull them off. You can keep manipulating to your heart's content. If I was now just to stick this horsehair on the landscape, it would look kind of out of place. It would look very bare and a wee bit greeny tinge to it, a bit unrealistic. So what I would do is I would obviously put some foliage on it, but before I do that I've got to spray it brown, and I'll use some Humbrol acrylic, I think it's number 29 spray, to get that looking like twigs and a wiry kind of bramble bush or something. What I've got here is my 3 horsehair bushes, and I've sprayed them with the acrylic spray Humbrol dark brown 29. Okay, that gives it a kind of twiggy, bushy shade of brown, more realistic than the bare horsehair. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish these in 3 different styles, different foliage. First of all, I've got the blended turf, which are fine turf. I've got burnt grass, which is also a fine turf, and I've got coarse turf in burnt grass. And I've also got this leaf mix from Gauge Master, which I've used on my trees, my seafoam trees. I've got 2 adhesives I'm going to showcase here. It's the layering spray from War Worlds, and I've got the deluxe Scenic Spray glue, which is a pump action, this being an aerosol. So let's first of all do the aerosol. Get rid of these 2. Give it a good shake, and you're basically going to coat it so it's white. You don't have to do underneath because that'll be sitting on the the landscape, but give it a good coat. Turn it round. Get where you've held it with your fingers. This is 90% water based. so it's not going to give you a sore head if you're spraying it, but if you've got any problems, I'd wear a mask. Right, it's now been coated, and I'll zoom in on that for you. Okay, I'm now going to coat it in some blended fine turf from Woodland Scenics using the shaker part, and a case of just covering it. Now if you think you've missed any of it, you can roll it around in the stuff that's around about the side. You can turn it. If you do it on a dry bit of paper, you just scoop any excess back into the tub. So there's very little waste with this process. Now, shake the excess a little. There you go. I've got a kind of coarse, twiggy, wiry bush to stick on the embankment beside the fine leaf foliage and the bushes and underbrush. Just let that dry now and it's ready to plant. The second bush has been given a coat of the Deluxe Materials Scenic Spray Glue, and what I'm going to put on this now are coarse turf, burnt grass. Okay, just open up that, and it's a case of, now what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to move it off the soaked paper so I can save a lot of the overspill by sticking it on a dry cloth. Give it a good coating, roll it around in the excess that you've covered, the sides and any bits you might have missed. Don't worry about the underneath bit because it's going to be on the landscape. Sprinkle it on. It's quite messy this with the pump action spray. Okay. Now that is looking pretty good. Give it a shake to get rid of the excess. There you have a kind of wiry bush with some coarse turf. Shows some of the twigs and stuff as well, so it's not too dense. For the third bush, I'm going to use some Gauge Master medium leaf foliage, GM157. I use that on my seafoam trees. Okay, I just get these plastic tubs that you get from your takeaways. So I've put some in the bowl there just from previous project, and again I'm going to cover the tree or the bush in this pump action scenic spray. I could use the aerosol, but I've just chosen to keep with this one. So again, a good spray. That, and with this one I tend to pour it from the packet into the tub, so I'm not wasting. I kind of hover kind of hover it over like this. Again, if you're worried about waste, it's all dropping into the tub below. Shake off excess, do some more. It's not got glue at the bottom, but if you do turn it upside down, it lets some of the leaves fall through from the gaps underneath into to give it a deeper leaf and covered finish. And you can just kind of finish off by dipping in there to get any bits that you've maybe missed. Okay, and a light shake, and there we have quite an effective, dense bush. Very easy, very effective, and very cheap. That's me now placed 3 horsehair bushes onto the embankment next to the rest of the Woodland Scenics materials. Here I've got a horsehair one covered in coarse turf. This horsehair bush is the leaves from Gauge Master, and the one here is the blended turf, which is a fine turf from Woodland Scenics. They've not been glued down, but as you can see, right next to them you've got the fine leaf foliage from Woodland Scenics in different shades, and at the back here we've got some underbrush and bushes from Woodland Scenics as well. So they all sit nicely together. There's nice variation in colours and it's very realistic. Hope you've enjoyed this video and got something from it. It's certainly a cost-effective way of making a large number of bushes for an embankment or hillside area, and it's really easy to do, and I'd recommend you give it a go yourself. If you have any questions on what you've seen, please do get in touch. Cheers. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you have, why not check out one of my earlier videos? Or if you'd like something from the Network South East region, click on Richard from Everard Junction. The links are on the screen.